A very good afternoon, my fellow Toastmasters and guests. I hope I woke you from the sleep.
Good afternoon.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, so today we are in the 475th meeting of Oracle Trailblazers Toastmasters Club. Let's have a round of applause. Before I start the meeting, I'll let you know what Trailblazers is, what Toastmasters is. I'll lay down few ground rules that we at Toastmasters follow. To start with, I request everybody to keep their mobile devices on silent or mute or vibrate. Even the online folks, they can also do that if you are, done. Great. Now for the online folks especially, if you're not speaking, then please be on mute. If you want to speak, then please raise your hand. I'll definitely come to you. Then we have. So in Toastmasters, we don't encourage derogatory usage of subjects relating to sex, politics, or religion. So please refrain from that. With that being said, I would again welcome you all to the 475th meeting of Trailblazers Toastmasters. So what Toastmasters is, now for the benefit of the guests as well as for the newer members maybe, Toastmasters is a non-profit organization that started in 1924, that is 100 years ago, by a person named Ralph C. Smedley. It was started as a forum where young minds would come and, develop their toast giving skills or the public speaking skills. Now that culminated 100 years, and today we are at a point where it is spread across 147 countries. There are around 3 lakh members and about 270K plus clubs in the entire world. So let's have a round of applause for Toastmasters. Thank you so much. And now coming to Oracle Trailblazers. Well, Oracle Trailblazers is the official Toastmasters Club of Oracle Tech Hub Bangalore. We meet every Thursday from 3 to 4:30. I am understanding today is an exception because tomorrow is Independence Day. So today we preponed it to Wednesday. We also meet physically. As you can see the group here today, we are seated at Oracle Tech Hub, usually in B block 9506, but today it's C block 9506. Again, slight change of plan. With that being said, I see just one guest today, Swapnil. Hi, Swapnil. May I request you to come on video if possible, or unmute yourself and just let us know how you got to know about our club. Swapnil, you're there?
Yeah, I'm here. Actually, I just got disconnected. So
Yeah,
yeah,
sure.
I'm a new joiner. I joined only 2-3 days back, and I think I just got to know about you people in an orientation that we had a couple of days back. And yeah, I just checked out some of the old videos and the Instagram page, etc. So I just became a little curious. Toastmaster is a concept that I got to know only recently. So yeah.
Thank you so much. Just have a wait out, just see how the meeting goes, and we can also hope are you based in Bangalore, by the way? May I know?
Yeah, I'm based out of Bangalore. Yeah.
Okay. We can also meet offline if possible. Thank you
Yeah.
so much, Swapnil. We also have Jitendra. I think we all know Jitendra. Jitendra has been visiting us quite a few times. Hi, Jitendra.
Yeah, hi. Yeah, so I've been frequent visitors of the Toastmaster Club. So definitely, I like to join the session and sort of new uh, information perspective. I get to know about different topics and different subjects. So yeah, happy to be part of this session.
Thank you so much, Jitendra.
Yeah, thanks, Dinesh.
Let's have a round of applause for our guests today. Okay, so that was done. The guests, I didn't expect anyone to be here today as guests because we have a long weekend ahead. But great on you guys. So let's just leave it on us now. You'll have a great time. Okay, so you would have seen the posters probably, right? What is the theme of today's meeting? The end. The end. Okay. So what went in your mind? Like, what is this madman going to talk about today? The end. Anything? Any guesses? Is it like the oh, end of the world?
This end.
Great topics. Let's just pointers for the future meetings. But you might have thought maybe he would be talking about the end of a movie. There are certain movies where the end is so confusing that it needs to have a discussion. So if you thought that, you are right on point, because today I'm going to talk about a movie ending that is the movie Inception, and we are going to talk about the end. Was Dom already in the real world, or was it in the dream world? See the confused faces, the dejected, disappointed faces. Why did I even join today? Don't worry, I'm not going to talk about the movie, because if you've not already seen it, please do watch it. So Anek was somewhat right, but today I'm not going to talk about the end of the world, but I'm going to talk about the big daddy of the ends, and that is the end of the universe. So, there has been a lot of understanding, a lot of theories that have pinpointed the birth of the universe, how the universe came into existence as it is today. But since the death of the universe is in cosmological time frame, it's far away. We cannot, like, if I have to give you a measure, let's say the universe will be destroyed in the next hour, right? If that is the case, then we as humans have existed in just 1 billionth of a second. That's how far away the death of universe is. So it's just like, it's very confusing to pinpoint to a particular theory that how the universe will die. Just like how we know that the birth of the universe was due to Big Bang, but we can't ascertain the death of the universe. So there are three theorems, there are three theories of how the universe could die. And I'll cover each one of them. But before covering, for the guests as well as for the members, I'll lay down the framework of what happens in a Toastmasters meeting. So in Toastmasters meeting, usually we have prepared speeches. We have a section called as table topics, where a topic would be provided and the person would have to speak for 1 to 2 minutes. And we have evaluations. Now, evaluation is basically for the speaker as well as the table topics as well as the general meeting. Now, to facilitate that, we have a person in our midst who is called the general evaluator. And today, taking up the role of the general evaluator, by the way, she took it last minute, so props to her on that. Yeah, let me read out the introduction of today's general evaluator. She is a software developer in the JDE Tools team at Oracle. Her current hobby is board gaming, while music and reading have been her lifelong passions. Please put your hands together for Toastmaster Dakshayani as the general evaluator.
Thank you, President and Toastmaster of the day. So yeah, I'm the general evaluator for today. I'll be evaluating everything that's going to be happening in the meeting from beginning till the end. And so I'll be looking into what went well and what can be improved and all of that. So yeah, that's my job as general evaluator. Tagging. It's the time. Yeah.
Introduction to the meeting. Simple.
Yeah, okay. As a general evaluator, to help me evaluate the meeting, I have a tag team, and the tag team consists of the timer, a counter, and grammarian. So I'll start off by calling the timer for today. Toastmasters onto the stage. Toastmaster, you can please explain the timer.
Hi everyone, good afternoon, good evening. I'll be the timer for today. Pretty simple timing guidelines for prepared speeches, which we have to do today, 5 to 7 minutes. So at the 5th minute, I'll be showing the green card. You can see the virtual background over there, and you can use that to ascertain. At 6th minute, the yellow card, and at 7th minute, the red card. The red card will stay up for as long as you keep speaking, but you have to keep in mind that once the red card comes up, you still have 30 more seconds to wrap up your speech in order to be qualified for the awards of the club. For evaluations, 2 to 3 minutes, so 2 minute green, 2.5 yellow, and 3 minute red. For table topics, 1 to 2 minutes, so 1 will be green, 1:30 will be yellow, and 2 o'clock will be red. I'll present my findings towards the end of the meeting when called upon. Thank you, and back to you, Rashmi.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nitin. So today, the counter and grammarian role will be played by our Toastmaster Devi. So, Toastmaster Devi, please introduce the role. Both of them.
Okay, so I just got to know that I'm the grammarian. I haven't thought of any phrase and word of the day. So very good afternoon, everyone. I will be our counter as well as the grammarian for the day. I will be closely checking each one's English, the way you speak, and if you are using any fillers or gaps. Apart from that, I think that's it. I have already noticed few hours in Nitin's and Dakshini's, and I have made a note of it. So at the end of the session, I will share my report on both our counter as well as the use of grammar.
Thank you, Toastmaster Devi. So, the word of the day and phrase of the day are already been decided. So, they are basically the word of the day is trite, meaning that something that is that is overused, a concept that is overused so much that it's become trite, it's become dull. So, you use it in that context. And the phrase of the day is facing the music, which we might all know. So facing the music means like you've done something now and you have to face the consequences. So it is used in that scenario. So
Thank you so
please
much.
note both of those things. Okay, so thank you, Devi. So let's go ahead and continue with the rest of the session. So, yeah, back to the body.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Dakshayani. So, as you could have seen how strict our evaluation team is, Toastmaster Devi has already made notes of ours and the wrong usages of grammar. So be careful, guys. Okay, now as I've already told about the universe, and also I briefly mentioned about the birth of the universe. Now tell me, when was the universe born? How old is the universe?
Older than me. 13 September 30,000 BC.
All wrong answers. Please note. So, well, it's not my answer. The scientists have done their due diligence, and after careful research, it was found that the Earth, no, my bad. The universe started from the Big Bang about 13.8 billion years ago. Now, 13.8 billion sounds too ornamental, it's too big. So just to give a picture of how big that number is, just a moment. I'll show you the number itself. Yeah, basically that. I mean, that gives a good idea of how old something is. Means I'm too old. You're older than the universe. Aswathama. Okay, so this is 13.8 billion years ago. That is 10 to the power 10. So 10 zeros in 10, 10 zeros, I can say. So this is how old our universe is. Now, 13 point, okay, let me stop sharing my screen first. So as I said, the universe is 13.8 billion years old. But when our space programs, especially from NASA, they got developed, they sent a telescope, which is popularly known as a Hubble telescope, to the space. And there, the Hubble telescope discovered something which was 46 billion light years old. Now, what is a light year?
The distance light travels in 1 year.
Correct. Okay. So it's a measure of distance, not time. So it's the distance that light takes, light, which is the fastest entity in this universe, takes in 1 year. Now, when I say 46 billion light years, that means this object that the telescope discovered was emitting a light that was 46 billion years old. How is it? How is the mathing? If the universe is 13.8 billion years old, how is it capturing? This telescope is capturing something which is 46 billion years old.
Expanding.
Yes, correct. It's not that it is 46 billion years old, but it has expanded from this tiny Big Bang, before the Big Bang, whatever the particle was, it has expanded for 13.8 billion years old, for 13.8 billion years, and now it has achieved such a great distance that it appears as if it is that far away, that far that light would take 46 billion years from that object to reach us at Earth. So the underlying principle here is, when the Big Bang happened, it just did not stop there. After it exploded, the particles that came out of this one big godly particle didn't just stop. They kept on moving. They are moving. They are accelerating. Why is this important? It is very important because this forms the basis of how all the three theories of destruction of universe are made. But I'll cover each one of the theories. Okay, I think I didn't mention, but there are three theories. And I'll cover each one of the theories. But before that, I'll move to the first prepared speech of today's meeting. But before I call upon the speaker, I'd like to call upon the evaluator of today's speaker. Let me introduce this person. So he is a person who has 4+ years of IT experience, is currently working in customer success team at Oracle. He's a gold medalist in BTech and wants to explore, learn, embrace the beauty of this diverse world. I'm not yet done. He is also one of the youngest persons to take up the area director role in Toastmasters, and he is the current area director of our area, the area that Trailblazers belongs to, G2. Please put your hands together for evaluator, for speaker 1, Toastmaster Shelby.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Dinesh, for such a wonderful introduction. A very good afternoon, everyone. Today, my target speaker, Toastmaster Anek, is going to deliver his Level 1 Project 4 speech. The objective of this speech to deliver the objective of the project is to deliver a project and to receive feedback from the evaluator. And in the next speech, you have to implement that feedback, and also you have to serve as a speech evaluator in order to complete this project. Timer, please note that the time limit is 5 to 7 minutes. I wish all the very best to my target speaker. Thank you, and back to you, Modi.
Thank you so much, Area Director Toastmaster Shadow. So today, the first speaker is Toastmaster Anik, who is working as a principal product manager in PeopleSoft development team. He believes that books we read and people we meet impact us the most. So he likes to read and meet new people. He's also passionate about fitness, and he does that whenever time permits. He goes on for running, swimming, and weight training. So put your hands together for Toastmaster Anek delivering his speech on the topic, The Fight. Toastmaster Anek.
Thank you. So ready for the fight?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so today I want to make a confession. If I have to clean my house before you come over, then we are not real friends. Sounds weird? Yes, it is. And this was actually one of the reasons we used to give to our friends who visited our house in Mumbai. Me and two of my college friends, I think I talked about them in the past, stayed in this house for 3 years. When we moved in, it was not so dirty, but after 3 years, dirty was an underestimation to describe the situation of that house. And we used to work in the same company. We used to catch office bus at the 8 a.m. in morning. So the biggest fight was over the bathroom. Two people can easily manage in one bathroom, not at the same time. But when third one appears, it increases the complexity manifold. We used to fight a lot, and because if you miss the office bus, you have to pay 200 rupees to reach office. That's why the bathroom was very, very important, So we used to have a daily fight, and no wonder we used, body sprays and deodorant very extensively in that period of time. And now these are kind of physical fight that we have in our daily lives. The physical fight with friends, maybe with your family members, with a spouse, with the manager. But today I'm not going to talk about the physical fights. I'm going to talk about the fight of ideas and thoughts. So there is also a fight between the ideas and thoughts that keep happening in our head, right? So that's what I'm going to talk about today. So in my company, one day I attended a kind of webinar where the host was talking about fitness, like how you can be fit and can be more productive in your work life as well. And he gave a lot of ideas, like how you can be fit, like you can walk or do weight training, a lot of ideas he suggested. But one practical I found was to go for a morning walk. So on one Saturday, I decided that from tomorrow, I'm going to go for a walk. So I decided that I'm going to sleep early by 11:30 p.m. in night. Now this thought was lingering in my head that, hey, I have to go to morning walk at 6 a.m. in the morning. And then another thought came, hey, like you are going to walk on the street. What if somebody hit you? Like you might be sleepy and somebody might hit you. And then another thought came which said that nowadays you have a lot of work. So it is good idea to sleep a little more. So it will give a little more rest to your mind as well. And ultimately I dropped the idea to go for a walk. So why that happened? I mean, why those negative thoughts keep coming into my mind? Any idea like why it happens?
Overthinking.
Okay, overthinking. Yeah, that is right answer. Overthinking. But answer I found in this book, The Magic of Thinking book, it talks about that your mind is like a thought factory. It produces more of what you feed it. So whatever you feed it, it produces more and more of it. And the manufacturing of thought is now the mind is like a thought factory, right? And the supervision of this thought factory is done by two people, Mr. Triumph and Mr. Defeat. Mr. Triumph is expert in developing positive ideas. He will tell you why you are capable, why you will achieve it, why you will win in life. On the other hand, Mr. Defeat specializes in giving you negative thoughts. He will tell you why you are weak, why you are going to fail, why you are not going to achieve anything. It's kind of negative thought, trail of thoughts. That's what the specialty is of Mr. Defeat. And now these two foremen are very efficient. Even if you give them a little bit of signal, they get into work right away and give you more reason to believe what you are already thinking. So to know like how these foremen works, just kind of example, like if you think like if you believe like it's a lousy day, it actually signals Mr. Defeat to go into work. He will tell you, yeah, the weather is too hot or too cold. Maybe your manager is not in good mood. Your wife is angry on you. And in few moments, he will convince you that this is heck of a bad day. On the other hand, if you think like it's a wonderful day, it gives signal to Mr. Defeat, Mr. Triumph, and he gives you positive ideas, right? They say, yeah, the weather is so great. You are going to be lot more productive today. The sales is going to be great. So that's how these two foremen work. And the more work you give to the foreman, the better they become. Like if you give more work to Mr. Defeat, he kind of employ more personnel. Ultimately, he takes over the entire thought manufacturing division. So all the ideas would be of negative nature. That's what we call, negative people. So what you should do to deal with these folks? I think the idea is to fire Mr. Defeat immediately. You don't need him. You don't need somebody telling you you are weak, you're not going to achieve it. You don't need him in the pursuit of what you are going to achieve. So just boot him out and give more and more work to Mr. Triumph. So the moral of the story is that be positive, give more work to Mr. Triumph, and always think positive. So that's all from me. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Anik, for another peek into your young age. We got to know more about your friends actually. Okay. Now, as I was saying earlier about the expansion of the universe. Now that was very much required onto the next part, where we'll be discussing the three theories of the end of the universe. And I'll start with the first theory of the end. Okay, what do you see on screen? So you already saw. So this is the first theory of how the universe is going to end. And the name of this theory is the Big Rip theory. Now, the name is quite literal. It means the same. Rip meaning we'll just tear it up. So something like that is going to happen. How it's going to happen, that I'll tell you. But before that, let me stop sharing. So you already saw the Big Rip theory. Before Anek's speech, I told you that the universe is expanding. It's not just expanding, it's accelerating rather. It's accelerating, it's increasing its speed. And it is theorized that there would come one time when the speed of the universe would match that of this God speed. What is the God speed? Light. The speed of light. Yes, very, very fast. Very, 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 very fast. So that is the speed of light. So when that happens, it's fine. We are at our home, we're in the Oracle building, we are safe. It's fine if the universe expands at the speed of light. Not an issue, right? It's not the same. So this is where, relativity and the point of reference kicks in. Let me give you an example. Point of reference you would have all heard of, you are sitting in the train. For you, you are stationary. You are listening to music, eating samosa, aram se. But to your fiance who is crying, and waving you goodbye, you are moving at a faster speed. So this is point of reference. Similar happens with us also. I might be standing here still, you might be sitting here still, but we are all moving, we are all accelerating. And that acceleration is same as the speed at which the universe expands. So if tomorrow the universe expands at the speed of light, we are also accelerating, we are also expanding at the speed of light. Now what will happen if we accelerate at the speed of light? Well, we'll become Usain Bolt. India will have so many goals then. Nothing like that. When that happens, a very gory thing would happen. And that is the very basic particles that we are made of, the subatomic particles like electrons, protons, neutrons, they would also accelerate. And when that happens, the bond that keeps them together is going to be much weaker than the acceleration that each of these particles are facing. and that will lead to rip. Even the very subatomic particles that make us, our atoms, the electrons, the protons, the neutrons, they will rip. And the entire universe will be filled with this pool of subatomic particles. And that is the Big Rip theory. Gloomy faces. Don't worry, it's very, very far away. You won't be there to experience that. But to lighten up the mood a little bit, let me take you to the second prepared speech. All right. Second prepared speech of today's meeting. But before I call upon the second prepared speaker, I'll call upon the evaluator of the speaker, and that is Toastmaster Devi. I'm not finding the introduction. Well, she needs no introduction, but still, I'll introduce her. She joined last year as a strategic sales expert for HCM Fusion applications at Oracle. She's a pet parent to 3 dogs, Pluto, Mickey, and Whitey. If she had not chosen a sales as a career, she would have been a folk artist in painting, and she proved that point in the last meeting. If you have not already known about the meeting, watch the video, it's in the channel. So Toastmaster Devi, please tell us the speech objectives for your prepared speaker.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Dinesh, and once again, good afternoon to everyone. I am going to evaluate, as already mentioned by Dinesh, the prepared speech of Toastmaster Abhinav. The speech title is Kindle the Fire Within, and this is his first speech under project Distinguished Toastmaster. The purpose of this speech is for the member to demonstrate his or her skills as a leader and a public speaker. And in this speech, he is going to introduce his plan and vision. I wish him all the best, and over to you, Toastmaster Dinesh.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Devi. Okay, so the second speaker today is a part of Oracle Retail AI Foundation Apps team. He has been a Toastmaster since 2016. He's completed 2 parts in Advanced Leader and Advanced Communicator Bronze. He served in district and club officer roles. He likes to stay creative by writing blogs, designing graphics, and crafting speeches. He is none other than Toastmaster Abhinav, who is completing this project to achieve his Distinguished Toastmasters Award. He is contributing a great deal of time and effort to complete the project that benefits this organization. Abhinav will deliver a well-organized, well-executed speech about the plan to complete the project of his design. As speech title has already been mentioned by the evaluator, it is Kindle the Fire Within. Toastmaster Abhinav.
Great speakers, I'll share screen first, then I'll start speaking. I'll take my own time. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster Dinesh. Hello, Toastmasters and dear guests. A very good afternoon to all of you.
Good afternoon.
Thank you. So my name is Abhinav Bhatt, and if you know me, if you don't know me, probably one thing which you should know about me is that I'm not a great fan of titles. Unless you're a doctor, I think that title doesn't matter. Once the title is Distinguished Toastmaster, I didn't really think that titles matter a lot. But then I was told multiple times by multiple people that this is not an ideal world. Titles do matter. And if you have certain title amongst you will be seen that way. So titles do matter in the real world. Even if you might give lesser importance to that, titles do matter. So in my Toastmaster journey, one of the major titles people pursue is DTM, called Distinguished Toastmaster. And it is not something which you can easily achieve in a matter of days. It takes years. So this is the criteria for the DTM, the Distinguished Toastmaster. One has to complete 2 parts. One has to serve as an officer in a club for 12 months. PA district officer also for 1 year. They had to help other clubs by being their mentors and sponsors. And also either that or be a club coach. So in my Toastmasters journey, while doing all the speeches and everything, I realized I was moving towards this. I didn't intend to become a DTM, but I was doing all the requirements. So I mean, a lot of people told me, why not go for it with wholeheartedness? And if you don't really have the confidence or something, you should kindle the fire within. That you can do it. Why not? A title you might not really pursue when you start your Toastmasters journey, but once you're doing things, why not go for it? So I realized I was doing a lot of things for that. I had been a club officer multiple times. I have been for 1 year at least. I've done 2 paths till now, international mastery and visionary communication. I was area director in 2019-2020. I was a club sponsor for Pink Preachers last year. I was a club mentor as well for Soundbites in October 2028. I finished 6 months as club mentor. For the DT project, all of that is required. It also requires a project to be done. A project could be which benefits the organization. Could be your club, your area, your own company, an NGO, doesn't matter. It should help an organization. And in this project, I had to do 2 speeches. First one is to tell about a plan, what the plan is. Second speech will be the execution of the plan. How did it go? One thing good about is that we need not to create anything new from scratch after your paths. If you've done something in the past, that also matters. So today I'm going to talk about something which I did in the past. When I joined Toastmasters, I was an introvert. I thought I'd do everything by myself. During the course of Toastmasters journey, I realized that we had to become an extrovert because we work in a team. And the best part is that we can be both. We can be an ambivert. Do it yourself as well, make up a team, do some project. You have to balance the act. So that's my Toastmasters learning. And a lot of people told me that I can do both of that. A lot of people, not just one person, all my mentors, all my people who have supported me, have instilled this feeling in me. So I thought we'll plan a division level contest, not the Toastmasters contest as such. So we had to make some key goals for that. And goal was to organize an event for the whole district, not necessarily be a Toastmasters format event, engage everybody possible, and be the first one to do it in that calendar year. So we thought of making a division contest. For that, we had to make a lot of planning. We had to make a timeline when to do it. We had to make a team. And it's very important as an area director, that time I was area director, to learn to delegate. That's very difficult to do, but you have to learn to delegate. Always be prepared for challenges which come ahead. There will be contingency for sure. They have to change your plans and you have to adjust your plans as well. So it's never ending adaptability was one thing to learn. Now, a lot of events I had joined in the past. So hopefully this also acts as a template for others. They can also host events like this. You have to be dynamic as well. The event which you plan should be engaging, entertainment, should be there for audience, should also be educational. And best part should be interactive as well. Since we have been to so many events in our lives, so I plan to also have a lasting experience with great food, great music performances, and whatever flows in the meeting, it should be not too cumbersome for people, they should enjoy it. That means timing should also matter. It should not be too long of an event. And finally, to communicate to the whole district about this, what we're going to do, we have to make a PR team, we have to plan the right kind of email, the right kind of communication to the right kind of folks at the right time. But planning of this, I thought that probably by doing this event, I can kindle the fire within, that I can do this. The can-do attitude came into being by doing this. So we finally planned an event called Kindle Face Off. It was a debate contest planned in 21st September 2019. This because I was the mentor of the club as well. They provided me a venue. A lot of Toastmasters came in for giving a musical performance, and the highlight of the event was there was a guest speaker called Mohit Kamath. He is a badminton coach, a player, Karnataka level player, as well as a coach. So we planned Kindle Face Off as the event. This was the first event of the district, and it was not a Toastmasters event as such. The contest was not Toastmasters contest as such. They were 4-minute debate contest with 2 people for and against. And the contest, the topic were chosen also very important, very kind of witty topics were there. So that was the plan overall. So this was the Kindle Face Off. I'm going to talk about how this execution eventually went off in the next presentation. So if anyone wants to plan anything, KINDLE, Kindle, key goals, ticket planning, never-ending adaptability, dynamic and effective communication are the 6 pillars of planning I thought will be beneficial to everybody. In my next speech, I'll talk about how did it eventually go and how did the event plan out and eventually got executed. With that, back to Toastmaster Dinesh. Thank you so much.
So much, Toastmaster Vinay. We all look forward to this journey of yours and can't wait for the next speech that comes up. Just a moment. Okay, so we talked about the first theory of the end of the universe. That was
Big rip.
yeah, the big rip. Okay, no, I'm not a strict teacher. That was just the all. I'm the coolest teacher you'll ever find. Don't worry about it. So the first theory was the big rip. Now let's jump on to the second theory of the Armageddon, I'll say. This was the big rip. The second one is heat death, or also called as the big freeze. Quite exciting. Even I was excited. I am a winter baby, so I was very excited on this idea of heat freeze or big freeze. Heat death or a big freeze. Now, summers, such a wonderful time, summers, where you are sweating your water body out. You feel like, I wish I was dead. How do you like it, summers, So during the summers, we tend to have this one common enemy. All of us, irrespective of your nationality, irrespective of you're a human or an animal, we all have this one particular enemy. Any guesses?
Sun.
Sun. We keep on insulting it. We keep on hoping it just blasts away. Why is it shining so much? Can you just not be so much one day? But as has been said, we have to face the music someday or other. So even the sun is hearing all of our insults. It's just noting everything down. And there would come a time long in the future that it will bubble up in anger, It will extend its arms so much so that we will be the next Mercury. Meaning the sun would increase in size so much, increase in size, increase in intensity, increase in everything, that it will gulp down Mercury and Venus, and we will be the first planet. We'll be facing the music right away. We're in the front seat. Now, it would see, sun, even though it is angry, it's a very kind person, It will see what it has done. It would see how the humans have been obliterated. And it will feel bad. So, kya hai? Kitna gussa kare? And it will just spit away all this anger that it has bubbled up. It will explode. And right after the explosion, since it is so huge, since it is so chonky, it will implode again. And it will move into its next phase, which is called as a white dwarf phase. And this white dwarf phase, it's still filled with guilt, where it feels like, what have I done? What have I done? So it has some kind of brightness in it, But because of this guilt, it would even leave that brightness and it will soon turn into a black dwarf. But the guilt is still there. The black dwarf will again dissipate into, like, it will start crying probably. And all of the black dwarf that is there would just dissipate into the space. And guess what? It would be the same result as that of big rip, just not as gory, It will take a Gogolian years. I had to Google this word. Gogolian years, which is 10 to the power 100. I mean, I couldn't even write that here. I will definitely get a migraine for that. So eventually, even this black dwarf would vanish into space, would just be filled with electrons, protons, neutrons. Even Sun's bigger brother also did the same thing, also had a lot of guilt. It turned into a black hole, but again, it also dissipated. So if all of this is dissipated, if all the sons, their brothers, their entire lineage is dissipated, what is there? Nothing is there. Just like the plant on Abhinav's desk, you all also would cease to exist. And that basically is the heat death or the big freeze, where there is literal death of heat and we have wonderful winter. We'll enjoy it, right? With that, I'll move on to the next section, which is the table topics. And today, doubling up as the table topics master is our very own second speaker, Toastmaster Abhinav.
Thank you.
Mamta couldn't join, but she would have.
All right, thank you so much, Toastmaster Dinesh, for such an exciting topic today. We all feeling too much, looking forward to the end soon. So to develop that, I have a very interesting topic today for table topics. It's about Independence Day. I know it's very interesting, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not going to change that. I'll keep it as Independence Day. It'll be challenging for you to go back to your history and remember what really happened. Because tomorrow you have to remember, somebody asks you on the street what happened that day. You should not come off as like somebody on TikTok and Instagram show that this person doesn't know anything. So if you don't know the answer, I'll help you out. Okay. But I'm going to show you pictures and you'll speak for 2 minutes on that. And there will be minimalistic posters which I created 15 years ago. Okay, so you can use them as, you can take inspiration from that and then speak on that. So since we have some members and some guests, I think we can have 7 topics, 6 or 7 topics. All right. And they're going to be in the chronological order. So you don't really have to think about it too much. Okay, so who's the first volunteer? Who wants to be the first martyr for Independence Day? Anybody online, offline? Okay, Devi said. Okay. Order goes Devi.
First one gets the easier topic, right?
Never
I have no such biases. I'm going to show a picture to you and speak on that. Okay? And if you don't know what picture actually means, you can ask it. I'll tell you, then you can speak on that.
Okay.
It's Independence Day themes.
Feeling nervous for the first time. Tallow greased cartridges, the first revolt. I can only think of Mangal Pandey. Can you give some?
That is the thing. That is the right thing. You can go ahead with that.
Okay. So when was the first revolt started against the Britishers who kind of colonized our country? As we know that for many years, we did not even know what was happening. We had kings. First, it came as an East India Company, and they just wanted to do business with us. And slowly, gradually, they started participating in the decisions, and then the whole scene was different. So this story is about a soldier, not even any high rank officer, and he was a Hindu. He did not know that and he was very loyal. So until then, he did not understand what is independence, where he's working, and what are the consequences the whole nation is facing. He knew that his officer is good and he needs to be loyal to him, and that was his world. But when he got to know that there is a cartridge and the revolt was already happening against it. They use gelatin or something to do, which is animal made thing, right? And he asked his officer that there is a revolt going on against this. Is it true that it is made of animal particle or whatever it is, right? So he says that no, it is completely vegetarian. The moment he realizes that it is not, and that is the first time the revolt starts within him. And he also understands that this is way beyond this and it is larger than this. And the intention of the British is not just to do good for us. They want to invade and they want to live here. And that is his journey and how he fights with them. Unfortunately, he doesn't win, but that is considered to be the first revolt at a with a person who doesn't understand much about independence, and he's not something which is scholar and so on. Yeah. So that's what I understand from the speech topic of today.
You told whatever I've thought of telling you, told it in the right format. So these cottages basically had fat of pig as well as cow. It was bad for both Hindus and Muslims. So which triggered the revolt. It was already bubbling up. All right. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Devi. Next person, Shalu, right? All right.
Eight to one. I got in British school.
Okay. Thank you so much for the topic, Toastmaster Abhinav. So from this picture, I can recognize it's a charkha, and when we see charkha, we get to know about our Bapu, Mahatma Gandhi, the father of the nation. So he symbolizes the use of charkha, the weaving of the clothes during the British era. And I can remember the time when I visited Gujarat. I visited Sabarmati as well, and there I have seen the authentic charkha which was used that time. It is really fascinating for me. And and we are talking here about independence. So tomorrow we are going to celebrate our 77th independence, and still we are not fully independent, as we can see. Independence doesn't mean that we are free from the British era or British Raj. We should be free from our thoughts, from our evil thinking, from procrastination, from all the fears. So we should also think in that direction as well, as we are seeing that the recent incident of the doctor in the Kolkata. There we have seen still the women are not feeling safe and independent. So as an individual, we should look forward in that areas as well to feel ourselves and feel our nation more independent than what we actually show. So that's all from my side. Thank you, and back to you.
Very well spoken. So the charkha was the symbol of Satyagraha movement. So all the folks of India, they said we'll not use anything which is British, and they put all the clothes, everything which is coming from Manchester, and they burnt it. That was the moment about. All right, who's next now? Shelly, first topic. Okay, Ravindra, I'll ask you next after this. Icebreaker will happen soon.
You have to do president. What are you doing?
Next.
Last week. And second.
Okay.
Take care.
We know about it, it's fine. I can explain. Like Bhagat Singh, Rajguru, and all those folks, they started organization called HSRA, Hindustan Socialist Republican Army. So they did some acts after Jallianwala Bagh, which was like kind of revolutionary. So you can speak about revolutions or protesting activism. You can say about that. Okay.
Okay, so I remember this movie that is right? Right? So in that movie, they were taking so many. So in that movie, they told one sentence that is very crucial. That one guy was saying that we can't change. We should leave India, and it's like we can't change anything. And at the end of that movie, they all take that pledge and they try to change. They they did it because of their one of their friend uh, got died in the airplane. So they did it because of their friend. But what we get to know from this is we are the change. We are responsible what is going in our country, and we should take that pledge and we should change, be the change.
Yep. Yeah, so this was, like I mentioned, it was HSRA was a revolution organization. One of the organizations which did a lot of revolutions. There was a Kakori Khan, they looted a train, and they also surrounded one police station of British people. So a lot of people started following them as well. All right, who's next? Ravindra, right?
Yes, sir.
I just share my screen again. You can see what the next thing. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Abhinav, for giving me the opportunity. Yeah. First of all, I would thank you for this 77th Independence Day. Okay. Divide and rule. I have seen recently a movie related to this divide and rule, where the Bengal people they were they were fighting for this Bangladesh and Bengal people in Calcutta. So they want separate country, and I see the lot of sacrifices were done for separate country of Bangladesh. So likewise, when we compare this with partition of India between Pakistan and India, so there were a lot of sacrifices done, where the people they mistook about the leader who is trying to separate Muslims from India and trying to form a separate country and all those things. So they were misleading about Mahatma Gandhi as well, that he's the one who is the one who is the main in the case of partition. So all those things. So finally, on the 77th Independence Day, so there was a lot of diversity in India. So we all religions staying in India with peace and harmony, like Muslims, Christians, and Hindus. So likewise, so let us not fight with the religions things or partition. So one is good and one is let us treat equally everybody, and that brings harmony and peace to India, and there will be growth and for better India. Let us work together for a better India. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ravindra, for a wonderful message. The picture actually was the partition of Bengal, which happened in 1905. That is why we have West Bengal in India. There's no East Bengal because that is Bangladesh. At that time, British realized that Indians are easy to divide, although they are so united and all. But if you just spark some religious thing or something, it's easy to divide. That is still going on. So it's up to us how we take it forward. Ravindra gave a really good message that we should treat everybody equally. Okay, moving on. Who's next now? Who wants to speak? It will be a topic again, not too difficult. You all might know about it.
I can go next. Yeah.
Okay, Jiten, I'll just share my screen. You can go ahead and speak on that.
Yeah, sure.
That's a very strong one.
Yeah. So shall I go ahead, Abhinav?
You can go ahead, please.
Yeah, so I understand this is the picture about the Jallianwala massacre, which happened during the uh, uh, freedom fighting movement against English people. So what I understand, whatever I have read for this massacre is basically a people who gathered in that particular Jallianwala garden for some peaceful protest and how kind of thing against the British rule. But at the same time, uh, you know, some English ruler, I think some policemen who I couldn't recollect the name of the person, but he all of a sudden started, kind of, uh, he kind of gave the order to shoot at people without any kind of warning to them, and that's where I think most of the people got killed. Some got killed because they just simply jumped into the well near within that garden. So it was like a very uh, worst massacre in the history of India, and I believe that actually propelled the whole movement of and of uh, you know freedom of India against the English people. And the way it was carried out, a lot of people were not happy at all, and that's where people got angry, and actually put the British rule at back foot at that point of time. So that's what I would like to say. I'll definitely, I mean, in nowhere in the world this kind of events should be repeated. That's what I can say. Yeah, that's all.
That's very well spoken, Jitendra. It was about Jallianwala Bagh massacre, which killed over 1,000 people also within a small garden. Some trivia about it. It was called on by General Dyer. So the whole people who were killing all Indians, people who got killed also Indians, the only order was given by one British person. People actually who shot were all Indians. And one more trivia which you might not know. After a few years, General Dyer was given some award by some Sikh organization. After a few years, because we forgave people who did all this. So again, a trivia. So that is one of the last topics. Anybody else also go ahead? One last way I can give. Anybody else? I mean, the
No
room.
one can go again.
What? If you want.
Yeah, I'm saying if no one is going, I can go again.
Okay, I'll just share a photo and you can talk about the hopeful things because we have all done negative things too. So that's the thing. So this is the last photo. You can just talk about it. Your feelings on this.
Okay. I'll start.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
So everyone, we are going to celebrate our Independence Day tomorrow. And our country is the youngest country based on the number of youngsters are there in the workforce. And it's only going to get better from here. So it's all in our hands, and every drop makes it an ocean. So we cannot change the whole world in one day, but each one of us kind of pick something which is close to our heart. It can be a welfare, it can be anything which is towards our mother nation. It can be as simple as uplifting the weavers, as we know that they are facing a lot of consequences because they are not getting the kind of business they should, and we have such a rich heritage. Or it can be kind of promoting our tourist places, or it can also be about making the outsiders feel included. They should feel safe. The women should feel safe. So what can we do at our individual level to make our country what it was before? Of course, we cannot be the golden bird like before, but we are very rich in terms of culture, heritage, knowledge. So we have to utilize our strengths and try to become the strongest country in the world. Thank you so much.
And that being said, that's the end of table topics. I wish you all a very happy Independence Day tomorrow. Happy holiday as well after that, but Independence is not a holiday as such. So with that, thank you so much, and back to Master Dinesh.
Thank you so much, Table Topics Master, Toastmaster Ravina. Those were great topics. So let me quickly, we'll have the evaluation for Toastmaster Anek because he has to leave. So for that, I'd like to call upon Toastmaster Shailu for the evaluation.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dinesh. The fight. It reminds me of my college days when I used to fight with my roommate, not for bathroom, but for switching off the light at nights. Because I want to switch off the light and sleep, and he want to switch on the lights and sleep. So that was the fight. I get connected with your speech, and it was very much evident that you made me to go back and think about my past. So you have created an impact in the audience at the first impression. So kudos to you on that. Now coming to your speech, the start was very much energetic. You greeted the audience with open palms. You showed confidence. The confidence was visible on your face and with your open hand gestures as well. You created humor as well among the audience, which also connected the audience with your speech. Also, you asked questions which encouraged the audience to take part in your speech. That all were the good parts which you have showed today. And yeah, humor was there, question was asked, and you were very much confident, and the proper hand gestures I could see in your speech. Now coming to some improvement. The first improvement, as your topic was the fight, and you said, let's get ready for the fight. I didn't get the feel of fight. You should be little bit aggressive or something which show that you are going to be ready for the fight. So that was missing, that you could have included. The second is that you were looking down too much. That shows you are trying to recollect your speech structure and everything. If you lost somewhere, just look into the eye of audience, take a small pause. It will help you to connect with the audience well. It shows that you have a command over your speech, because anyway, if you are talking about yourself or your speech, so you should show some confidence. And yeah, and the ending could be better, as you have brought two characters in that. It would be better if you have talked about you and your friend, like how you deal with that situation, how anyway, if it's not a physical fight, it's a mental fight or a fight of thoughts. I would be happy if you have include you and your friend, because when you brought that two character, I somewhat lost in that thing. I was not able to relate it with. So that if you can use, that going to be create a greater impact on the audience. Overall, it was a great attempt. You have the confidence and you have the ability to take your speech further. With the small improvement, I think you can do it very well. So thank you and kudos to you, and I hope to see you again and listen to more and more speeches from you. Thank you. And back to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shailu, for the wonderful evaluation of Toastmaster Anek's L1B4 speech. Okay, now before going on to the general evaluation, I'll just take a few more minutes to explain the third theorem of destruction of our universe, or how the universe is going to end. Now, just a spoiler alert, this is not as negative as the other two. So this is the third theorem of how the universe is probably going to end up. And it's called as Big Crunch and Big Bounce. Not or, this is Big Crunch and Big Bounce. I'll again share my screen later, but for now, let me give you an idea of what this theorem suggests. As I said earlier, this is not a very negative thing. There are positives. There is definitely negative. We are going to get destroyed, but there are positives to it too. For the first theory, which is big rip, there was this underlying principle that was kind of the basis of the theorem. And that was, the universe is expanding. But if I consider like a balloon expanding, would a balloon expand on its own? No, I have to blow on it. So, similar for the universe, it just does not expand on itself. There is something driving, some energy driving. Any idea what that energy is? Very Gen Z term, maybe. Dark energy.
Dark energy.
Dark energy. So, that is actually the scientific term for it, which is the dark energy that causes the universe to expand. And there is this another theorem that 70% of this entire universe is dark energy itself. The bad part is it's just keep on expanding, will rip off someday. Good part is we don't know anything about it. So there could be a scenario where this expansion that ultimately would or might lead to this big rip might reverse. And when it reverses, it won't just stay there because nothing in this universe is stagnant, nothing is stopping. It will compress. And that is what I meant by the big crunch. Crunch meaning it won't expand anymore, but rather it will crunch. And as I said, it won't stop. So here's the negative to this theory, that it will keep on colliding. It will keep on jamming us to a point where the earth will collide into the black dwarf that will form of the sun, or the black hole that is present in the center of Milky Way will engulf all of us, and all that is left is a big black holes comprising of millions, trillions of black holes. And this black hole becomes so massive that it will again implode into this little seed that we know existed before we bang. So here comes the positive. Okay, so this was big crunch and big bounce. So this is the big bounce that is mentioned in this theorem. So once it collides, it compresses to this one matter, it will again explode. And that is the start of Big Bang. So basically, there is some confusion here. This theorem suggests that this is not the first time this has happened, and this keeps on happening. As a Hindu, I am entitled to this view, reincarnation and all. So this has been happening wherein, we are expanding, we are then compressing to a point, to a single matter, then it becomes so pressurized that we're again expanding. So the positive is, even if we die, something will come out of us. That being said, we'll move to the evaluation section. And for that, I'd like to call upon the general evaluator, Toastmaster Dakshayani.
Hello everyone. So before I get started with the evaluation part, my evaluation part, I'd like to call upon Toastmaster Devi to please evaluate Toastmaster Abhinav's speech today.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Dakshayani. As most of you who are the members of Oracle Trailblazers Club would agree that this is not an easy task, evaluating someone who has already set a benchmark for us. So I hope I don't have to face the music from all of you for trying to be strict. So the delivery, if we talk about the delivery, it was at par, and so was the flow of the speech. The words were clear. Why I'm saying this? Because when we are online, few words are not clear when we speak compared to when we are in person. So I did not face any difficulty in understanding any of the words that he has used in his speech. Apart from that, I do have one question for him. That's my usual pattern. So did you have any intention of the key takeaway for your audience when you were delivering the speech?
Yeah,
Did
it
you?
was
Yeah.
like to plan an event, what all criteria we should aim for, the goals of the event basically. And any event we plan to do in our life, be it official or non-official, what key things we should think about the event itself.
Okay. So from the perspective of content, grammar, and delivery, I think it was quite good. Little areas of improvement, if I can say so. When you were delivering and showcasing your presentation, most of them, as usual, the standard issue that we face, we're looking at the screen. Maybe you could have asked some questions to engage the audience. And since this is more of the knowledge side, so engagement was missing. Maybe you would like to work on that. So apart from that, I couldn't find anything else. I do have one complaint. You did not use the word of the day and phrase of the day today. and and that has been issue with all of us except Dinesh. Nobody. I will share it as a detailed report anyways. Yeah. Thank you so much. Over to you, Toastmaster Dakshayani.
Now I'd like to call upon my tag team to give their report. So to start with the timer for today, Toastmaster Nitin, could you please give your report?
Hi again, everyone. Here to present the timing reports. Our speakers for today were sort of bang on time. Anek took exactly 6 minutes. Abhinav took exactly 1.5 minutes. Table topics: Devi, 1 minute 50 seconds on your first attempt and 1 minute 17 on your second attempt. Shiloh, you took 1 minute 26 seconds. Shelly, first attempt, great attempt, 50 seconds, good start. Ravindra took 2 minutes 16 seconds. And Jitendra took 2 minutes 9 seconds. When it comes to evaluations, Shiloh, the evaluator, took 2 minutes 53 seconds. And Devi took 1 minute 52 seconds. Dakshayani,
Thank you, Toastmaster. Now I'd like to call upon our accounter and grammarian for the day, Toastmaster Devi, to please give her report.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Dakshayani. So a little information, no, not much relevant at the moment, but I had a chance to do a counter role somewhere else. And the highest hours that I heard was of a president, and it was 27. Okay. So until then, all the R counter reports that we had got for our club, no R's were there, no fillers were there. But slowly, gradually, I think we have also opened our account. So don't take this something which is too strict or serious. I have just included it and let's see how it goes. So Ravi had maximum number of hours, which was 12, and minimum hours were by Nitin, Shailu, Shelly, Dinesh, and Devi, which is 2. Okay. And interesting use of words like lingering by Anek, mathing by Dinesh, crucial by Shaili. I think when Shailu was speaking, yes, when Shailu was speaking, he said give instead of gave. Sorry, that was Anek. Shailu did one mistake. Instead of saying that was fascinating, he said that is fascinating. More of a tense thing, maybe it went with the flow. And phrase of the day, as I already mentioned before, only Dinesh had used the phrase of the day. And I tried to use in the evaluation, but I couldn't use anywhere else. Yeah, that's it from my side, Toastmaster Dakshayani. For the detailed R report, you can reach out to me offline because it's a detailed report, may not be necessary for the script. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Devi. So now that we've all faced the music from our tag team for not using the word of the day and phrase of the day enough, I'll try not to be trite about it, but I will also let you guys face the music once again. So to start with, my general evaluator report for today. Our meeting started 4 minutes late, which is a little unusual for us, but that's okay. The venue was set up well and everything was great with respect to that. And our president's address was amazing. The intro included everything. Thanks for bringing the energy as you always do, President Dinesh. And Yeah, the guests were also introduced and I got to know a couple of new people. So welcome again, guests. Hope you liked our session. And one thing I really liked about it was one guest mentioned that they got to know about this through our Instagram. So a shout out to our PR team for doing that. So great job there. And yeah, so but once again, kudos to our president for also taking up the TMOD role today. So that was last minute, and I know it's not easy to just carry the entire session through, but you did. And so great job with respect to that. Going ahead with the Toastmaster of the day itself, only you can make the end of the world sound fun. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I never heard of these three theories before. I'm sure I'm going to go back and try to learn more about it. I mean, the big grape, it's a very cheery theory, isn't it? Me being me, I enjoy talking about this stuff, even though it's morbid. There is comfort in the fact that we are all going to be long dead at the point when any of these things are going to happen, unless, of course, you believe in reincarnation and all of these things. So it's nice to talk about it because it's not going to affect you anyway. The second one was the scariest theory, I think, the heat death or the big freeze. When you mentioned the part about the summers being annoying, I was immediately taken back to this memory of us seeing that ad when we were kids where there's a straw from the sun and the sun is trying to like completely take away your energy. Like that image is just burned in my memory for the rest of my life. That's how I feel in the summers every time I go out. And I think this theory also is somewhat like that, like sucking up all of the heat when at the end of the day you're left with nothing. And yeah, what a fun way to talk about this again. And yeah, also turns out the sun is a very moody celestial object because it starts off by being very angry and then depressed and then sad and like, I don't know, guilty and so much going on there that we need to explore the emotional journey that the sun goes through. So the third theory, I love that too. Like when you said big crunch and big bounce, the first thing that came to my mind was like how you take a paper, you scrunch it up in your hand and you throw it into the dustbin. Like it seems somewhat weirdly similar to that, right? Like you throw away the paper and then it gets recycled and then it's back. So I love the third theory the most because it's the most optimistic one. Like I guess it's also like brings up these topics of reincarnation and all of that. And I don't know, it's like you can just sit with any of these theories and spend a whole day just thinking about it. It's so much fun. So thank you for bringing up all of these things. Now moving on to the prepared speeches. The first speech was by Anek. I think the last time I was the general evaluator and Anek gave a speech, he was not there. So anyway, I always have so many questions whenever he delivers a speech because there's so many things that are so weird and interesting. But I love the title. I love the title. He called it The Fight, and I was immediately thinking about what is it and what can it possibly be. And he mentioned something about if you clean your house before your friends come home, they are not your real friends. Well, I have to disagree because some of us are clean freaks and we will clean whether we like it or not. And anyway, moving on, one thing that I found was profound in this speech was how he talked about the mind being a thought factory and it produces more of what you feed it. So that's something that I think we all can remember. I definitely will. And it also reminded me of this other quote called thoughts become things. So ultimately, whatever thoughts that come into your head are going to turn into your actions and ultimately your achievements and whatever else you do in your life. So that was one a very interesting thing that I picked up from the speech. And yeah, I loved the characters of Mr. Defeat and Mr. Triumph. And I wish I heard more about those things, more about those characters. I think our evaluator, Toastmaster Shailu, already mentioned that in his evaluation. So I wanted to know more about those characters as well. And moving on to the next speech for the day. by Toastmaster Abhinav. First of all, once again, I love the title, Kindle the Fire Within. It's so inspiring, and that's exactly how your entire speech was as well. Like it made me want to immediately go and try new things and try out new stuff, and like that's so inspiring. And I agree with you that titles do matter, and even I dislike titles. Like whenever someone asks me what do you do, I just don't want to talk about it. I just want to say developer. I just write some code. But people want you to explain yourself better. Like, are you a senior software engineer? How do you handle problems and all of that extra stuff? And sometimes a title helps us convey those messages. So while I agree that we all come with inherent biases and judgments with respect to titles, I think it's a hard pill to swallow, and we just have to and accept that titles are important. And like I already mentioned, it's inspiring to hear your story always, and there's a lot to learn from it as well. So I noted down a couple of things that you decided to take up with when you started your event, like when you organized your event, sorry, and being dynamic, adaptable, and creating a lasting experience. I mean, these things are easy to hear, but I'm sure they were very, very difficult to actually implement. So I'm looking forward to hearing your next speech, where you're going to talk about all the challenges you faced or how you went about this. So I really loved your speech. So moving on to the table topics part. Once again, Toastmaster Abhinav, thank you for taking up the role. And I always like seeing your posters. I'm glad that we got to see a whole new bunch of them this time. And I like to just give a overall summary of what we heard through the whole table topics. So with respect to I think we got reminded today that how important it is through the Mangal Pandey story to stand up for your values, whatever they might be. Whatever you think is important, you need to stand up for it. And it also taught us that loyalty goes both ways. It's not just about you serving someone else. Like it goes both ways. So the second thing that I heard about was regarding the charka. So I think in the eve of independence, like it's very important, literally in the eve of Independence Day, we need to really reevaluate what independence means to us today in 2024. So that is one more thing. And the third thing that struck me was from Shaily's table topic speech. Great job on your first table topic speech, by the way. Being the change. And I think it was said by Mahatma Gandhi as well, be the change you want to see. And the final thing, embracing diversity and unity. So, and finally, Devi, thank you for concluding this whole thing with a message of hope. And if we are not careful and if we don't make some changes, we are going to face the music, I'm sure. But what a great table topic session as well. And I think that with that, I'd like to conclude my evaluation for today. It was a really fun session. And somehow, even though we explored some difficult themes and not so fun topics, I still had fun. So I think that is the summary of what I'd like to say. Thank you very much. And I'd like to hand it back to Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you so much, Madam Evaluator. I think that's the right terminology. Madam General Evaluator. Okay, so I think we have the voting links also on the screen. Please spend some time, vote for the winners. We'll see who wins. Huh? Okay, I think in the interest of time, let me also.
First have to do it. He's doing it now.
I think we already. How are we doing on the votes, Ravindra? How many responses?
Yeah, so we have 9 responses.
I think that's it, right? Result,
So shall I go ahead with the results?
Yeah.
Yeah. So best speaker goes to Toastmaster Anik. And best table topic speaker goes to Toastmaster Devi. And best evaluator goes to Toastmaster Shailu with 77%. And best meeting role taker goes to Toastmaster Abhinav with 55%. And best auxiliary role taker goes to Grammarian Devi. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Abhinav. Before leaving, I'll also take this opportunity to formally install our newest member, Toastmaster Shelly. With Gavin is also. It's not
pen.
What do you want?
हाथ में पकड़ा के और
Acha, Shelly, please. How do you do?
ask make it as a gavel and so gavel.
I'm sorry for this, but just repeat after me. This is how we formally install the newest members to our club. I. Nee, you'll just. My bad. You'll just say. I, Shelly, in the presence of my fellow members of the Oracle Toastmasters Club, Oracle Trailblazers Toastmasters Club, make this firm obligation to attend meetings regularly and prepare fully for each assignment, to apply myself to the requirements outlined in the Toastmasters educational program, to regularly and fully participate in club activities, to evaluate others in a positive and constructive manner, to build open and friendly relationships with my fellow members, and to bring new members into the club so that they can also gain the benefits of Toastmasters, of the Toastmasters Club. Do you? So I formally induct Toastmaster Shelly to Oracle Trailblazers Toastmasters Club. Okay, I think we can just assemble here for a group pick. Maybe you can help us with the pick.
ट्रेलब्लेजर्स के अलावा जितने भी क्लब्स में मैंने ऑफिसर्स इंस्टॉल कराए सबको बोला कि पेन लेकर आओ खड़े रहो किसी के पास गैवल ही नहीं था
What to do with the pen?
गैवल
It represents the gavel.
But with the gavel also you'll have to hit on the table.
You don't have to do.
Just hold it.
You can be in the middle.
इवन मैंने अपने
Yes.
एडी
Well,
की
you-
वैल्यू पेन पे ही ली है
Someone can stop the recording.
I'll do it now, or you just.
No, it's okay. You can edit later. Okay, smile. Yeah, one more. Yes, we have the group pick. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you. Happy Independence Day. Bye-bye.
Happy
Bye-bye.
Independence Day.